This segment is on the GDPR data inventory and how to set it up in Salesforce. It's privacy statement. Legal has to comply with it. Don't download into spreadsheets, right? So the internal privacy statement has to be reviewed. Then you have to do a data inventory, right? So for instance, where does it all go? I'm a big fan of having Salesforce be the master data instance because it could be in AWS, it could be in a MailChimp instances or Exact Target or SharePoint or Gmail. The big problem's going to be Excel spreadsheets out there from your sales guys. Did you let them export it? When did that happen? Where are the spreadsheets of customer personal information? And how open is your org? Only people that are mission critical should see the European EU citizens' data. If you have OWD, org-wide defaults, as open, then you have a problem. I recommend record types for EU citizens to comply with GDPR. So you have a record type and then you have a different flow. It's a shared responsibility. Linking Salesforce to 365 is super easy with Einstein these days. And in my personal Gmail, I sucked 2,000 emails from 2007 into Salesforce for visibility. So if I get a GDPR request, although I'm not an organization, I can delete the emails out, the spreadsheets. I can find it in my Salesforce instance, thanks to the linking with Salesforce Lightning. Salesforce Lightning, 365 enabled or Gmail enabled. First, you have to create a data inventory from elements, run it against your org. And your org needs to be linked into Oracle, SAP, MailChimp. So it all surfaces in Salesforce. One. Secondly, you'll have a data inventory categorization. You'll see what's personal data, what's special data, what we don't know. And then you'll have a dashboard, what's private, what's not, where the problem areas are. That gives you a report like this. That works. Once you have the assessment, how much personal data you have, how many spreadsheets are out there, do you have clear, lawful basis, consent? What's the next steps? Do you have a DPO assigned? Who is that? And making sure your permissions are in place. Besides having the OWD on the contact lead, private, a subscription form. Notice down here, the additional blog post, SMS, you need those, the consent. You need to ask for a lot more stuff. Ask for it, contact us. Your web form, your website should have RTB to be forgotten. How is my data used? Who's the DPO point of contact with webinars and the like? I recommend to verify their identity because you could have a competitors just ping or a robot ping and say, delete me, and you're deleting valid EU citizens. It could be an attack by a competitor. So you get an RTB, right to be forgotten, verify their identity, then go through the process. These are the changes to the website. Privacy, permissions, agreement, email, in person, online, or third party. How did you get there? And that's what elements.cloud does. There will be links to that. Salesforce has a GDPR now you can install. And two, Elements does a great job with that. I'd recommend you get a free Elements instance, right, from elements.cloud, link below. Use their process that's already mapped out. It's a diagram process, much better than Visio. And that way you'll be able to, here's how your data is used. Send them a picture. Here's our process for a data breach. Let me show you. This is the implementation of the privacy data management. It goes from install package, set up the layouts, communications. This one is about the methodology on implementing. Much better than Visio, right? So you're in compliance. You can tell somebody exactly the flow. For standard compliance, Elements Cloud has basically done all the work. And the flow part is free. These are free. So work off their work for standard process for compliance of GDPR. And then if you need the pro version of Elements, that does the data inventory for you. Doesn't do the architecting, but does the data inventory within the Salesforce org. And then the other one is the one for compliance. What happens with a data breach? You have 72 hours to report a data breach, and that's over a weekend to the EU citizen. And this is the process for it. Very clear. GDPR is a shared responsibility from AWS. It's a shared responsibility. Legal compliance, personal compliance, technology compliance. I hope this has helped. And there are links below to the key tools that I've used to implement GDPR in Salesforce.